Welcome to Meaningful Mondays with the Community Foundation of Middlesex County, where we only know good people who do great things in our community. Whether you are a volunteer, a donor, or a nonprofit organization, each episode of Meaningful Mondays will celebrate you, our friends and neighbors who have a deep passion for and commitment to improving the quality of life for all in Middlesex County. So let's kick off the week with great conversations with remarkable people, businesses, and nonprofits making a difference right in our own backyard. Well, happy Monday, everybody. It's always a meaningful day in Middlesex County, but Mondays are particularly special and meaningful because we get to talk to good people who do great things. And we are joined today by the one, the only Scotty Brown. And Scotty, there you go. We are so excited to have you here. And, you know, honestly, it is your turn to brag because you do so much for the community, and I want the community to know about that. But first of all, I don't know how you've gotten the formula to have more than 24 hours in a day, because you own Brown Wimler with Tommy. You own Celtic Cavern. I know you have a beautiful house and a beautiful yard that you take a lot of care of. And we're honored that you're on our board, you're on the Chamber's board, you give back in so many ways. And also you helped put together our building to make it sparkle and look fabulous. So please, Scotty, tell us all about how you got involved in construction, number one, and then the restaurant business, number two.
Well, I guess getting involved with construction started all the way back in junior high school. I was part of the industrial arts program in junior high. I received an award for most outstanding student. I said, I'm actually outstanding in something in school. From there, I went to I went to Old Lyme High School my freshman year of high school, of course. And again, was in the industrial arts program, and same thing happened. The industrial arts teacher said, Scotty, you have a real knack for the trades. You should consider going to a vocational school. So at that point, I talked to my student counselor. We decided that we would give Vinyl Tech in Essex a shot. I went out there, went through the exploratory program. I chose carpentry first, electrical second, of all things, culinary third. That
oh my gosh.
I know, odd. I was chosen for the carpentry class and excelled at it. Absolutely loved it. And once graduating high school, I joined the Marine Corps and joined within there. I also chose a trade, which was combat engineers, which is similar to the CBs. It's basically a construction company within the Marine Corps. And honestly, that's where my career took off. It started in junior high, and it just pursued it all the way to the moment I'm sitting in this chair right now.
Well, I'm going to deviate for a minute because first of all, I didn't realize that Vinyl Tech had a satellite location in Essex. So good for you that they did. But that's number one. Number two, there's so much emphasis now being placed on the trades, and I'm happy to see that. For young people who are listening and watching, we have a lot of people who honestly do pay attention to this. What would you say to them about the trades?
First of all, I'd say, why not? It's a skill you will take with you forever once you've learned it. It's a great tool to learn to work with other people, motor skills. You have an opportunity to meet other trades. So if you're a young person coming up in the trades and you decide you're going to buy a home, it's first of all, it's hard to even afford a home. Then now you have to work on the home. So young people such as myself, when I was first in the trade and first buying my home, you realize you can barter with other tradesmen. So, me as a carpenter, I met an electrician on the job and I wanted to remodel my kitchen. I was able to have him come over and do the electrical work. And in turn, I went to his house and did a finished basement.
Oh, good. That's good advice. That really is. And, I'm going to put in a plug for the team that put together the Vinyl Valley Regional High School Trades Award. and they have been giving scholarships to folks, and two young people got them just a few days ago. They'll be going into the electrical to be electricians and want to have their own businesses, which is so wonderful in this day and age. I think it's great. So thank you for that advice. We deviated, I'm sorry. So
That's quite all right.
let's go back to that number 3 thing that you put on. So you own Brown and Wimler. You've done wonderful work. And honestly, I invite anybody to come to the Community Foundation to see the great work that Scotty and his team have done for us. You've also done a lot of work with Wesleyan and Liberty Bank, and you have so many clients. So it's confirmed. You're good at the trades. But then that third thing was culinary. How did that come into play?
Oh, I like to eat. So,
Okay.
but honestly, it interests me. Going through exploratory, you have an opportunity to try many trades. I knew I didn't want to be an auto mechanic. I knew I didn't want to, be an auto body or electronics. None of that interested me. But the science of food and what went together to create a menu, and texture, I found intriguing. And even though as a builder, as a carpenter, and I build things, well, believe it or not, a menu is built as well. So I found them both pretty interesting. And yeah, so the satellite in Essex, I'm not sure when that closed, but that was in the early 80s.
Okay.
It's now, I think, a fire department or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's really interesting that everybody knows I don't eat. I mean, I eat the same thing every day because it's food. It's important to live, but I didn't think of the analogy of it's constructing a menu is constructing something. So that's one thing, Scotty, but what made you take a leap of faith and open Celtic Cavern? Because the food is really good. And I was with somebody yesterday at lunch and they just said, this is the place.
All right. Well, that was a journey, and who knew it was going to take the path that it took. But I it was like on a bucket list to own a speakeasy, so to speak. I love live music. Anyone that knows me knows I love to dance. I love to be around music. I prefer music on than a TV. Just how I roll. With that being said, we opened up the Celtic as a music venue with comfort food. Within 9 months of being open, I realized quickly it wasn't going to work, that no one was really supporting the arts, believe it or not. Not a lot of people who were going out to eat or not necessarily the same people who were going out to listen to music. And it was very expensive to put that venue on. So decided to go away from the music, and Chef Bill came on board at that time as the minority partner. Those that are fans of the Celtic do understand he's a genius. Oh my gosh, what he puts together is unbelievable. So as I always like to say, people come in and they see our ambiance. We have a downtown Boston underground feel to the restaurant. And that's the texture that I could add to the Celtic Cavern. Right. And Chef Bill created the texture as he built the menu. So it's just a combination of very creative people. Even though we're from different genres, it came together. And we now have Brian, our general manager, who has created such a culture on the front of house. So when you're coming in, you're greeted instantly at the hostess counter. You're brought to your table. You have multiple people serving you. That's by design. You're never feeling like, is anyone ever going to come back? They're always there. They're always watching, but not overbearing. I think would be a good way to say it.
So I would say that you've cloned yourself in that culture, Scotty, because that's who you are. No, truly, don't laugh. I think it's true. I mean, you do make everybody feel at ease and welcomed, and I think that's so important. And I've met some of your staff. I've been fortunate enough to meet them, and they are absolutely professional. And you do want to come back and spend time in a place like that. But the broader concept that I hear is that you're really into partnership and and sharing and giving back. And I think that's part of your ethos. Yes?
Yeah, I would agree.
And I would say Jamie would say that too. And I
Nice,
would
nice
say,
if Jamie says that.
pardon me?
That would be nice if Jamie says it.
I'm sure
I
she
believe she
would.
does.
I know, Jamie, she would say.
Of
So
course.
let's segue into from partnering to giving back, because you do so much for the community. And I saved this because I wanted to say congratulations again on receiving the Middlesex County Chamber's Veteran-Owned Business of the Year Award just a couple of months ago. I think that's fabulous and well-deserved. But you give back to us. We're honored that you're on our board. You serve on two committees, rather. And so I don't know how you find the time for that, but you also serve on the Chamber's board. And if I'm not mistaken, you serve on the Chamber's building committee.
That's correct.
So that giving back, because you don't have to do that. Where does that come into play in your growing up and now as a business owner?
I guess the easy answer, try not to make it a long-winded answer, is I grew up in foster homes. So that was very challenging as a young kid, bouncing around. I can remember, getting to my foster home and, many of them, and I'd show up with my plastic bag full of clothes. And, I would be pointed to, this is where your bed is. This is your dresser. This is your closet. And I had just bag full of clothes, and I didn't even have enough clothes to put in one drawer, never mind a closet or the chest of drawers. And that's essentially how I was growing up. So once I had gotten out of that cycle and gone off to the Marines and come home and started raising a family, I started thinking about, what was given to me. What did the foster homes give me? What did the Marines give me? What did my, Tommy Sarah, do for me back when I was in school? I said, geez, maybe I could be a foster parent. Maybe I can be a big brother or something. And then I found out that although I have 24 hours in my day, there's just not enough time to raise three daughters and start a business. So that's been long on my mind of wanting to someday give back in some capacity. And once my kids were off and going on their own and my business has been established, I started looking for ways to give back. And that's when, within your community, there's plenty to do if you're looking for it. And, I bumped into you folks and I started to learn about what you're doing, and I'm grateful to be part of it in what capacity I can be. So really, it started off wanting to give back to what was given to me as a kid is, I guess, the answer.
An attitude of gratitude. Thank you for that. You really do have an attitude of gratitude, and I think everybody does. They just sometimes don't act on it. So and we're so happy, we found you in terms of helping us with this building. And I would say, and I'm going to put words in your mouth, that everybody has a talent that they can share in some way with the community to make it better. True, false?
True.
Sometimes we think we don't have, oh, I can't do that. I can't volunteer on a board. What would you say to that if somebody said that to you?
Well, I kind of felt that way once. You just got to jump in, and there's other folks on the board who have been there before you or getting on at the same time with you. It's a team effort. There's no
Right.
thing being done by yourself. You're doing with others.
The partnership again comes through.
Oh, 100%.
Comes through. So we've done this series and we're interviewing business leaders, business owners, people like you who are on our board. We've interviewed so many different kinds of folks, and the theme really is the payback of giving back. And we select people because you do give back to the community in more ways than you really realize. And honestly, people do listen to us and people do watch us. So for those, what advice would you give to business owners who think, oh, I don't have enough time, or, never thought about that. I can't do that. What's the payback for giving back?
Well, first of all, why not be part of something bigger than ourselves?
Mhm.
And it honestly feels good. What feels better than contributing and being part of something? So, I've always said, 24 hours in a day. Some people go to work for their 8 hours a day. Some people will sleep the other 8 hours. Well, that leaves a balance of 8 hours. You can have relaxation time. That's important to some people. They may fish, they may do whatever they want to do. But the point is, if you can just carve out
Mhm.
a few hours, even if it's just a few hours a month, if you think of how many hours are in a month, why not? You can't give a few hours of your time to something greater than yourself. I would say we all have that to give, and it's not as hard as you think.
No, it really isn't hard, is it?
Hmm.
All of a sudden the 2 hours are gone. But there you go. I don't know. You've invented 48 hours in a day, Scotty. I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I really don't. So, is there anything that I should have asked that I didn't ask?
No, Cynthia, you're very thorough. You always are.
I try to be.
I can't think of that. No.
All right. So, Scotty, you know, what you're so busy, but what are you going to do if you have spare time? What are you looking forward to in the next couple of months?
I am looking to going down to Charlotte to visit with my grandson Liam and my daughter Sierra and her husband Levi, for starters. And then I'm going to go up to Maine with my wife and my sister to celebrate her birthday with her husband. So that'll give me some R&R that is much needed.
Ah, that's nice. And being with family is so special. That will be really good. And we've been fortunate to see pictures of Liam. So when you come back, we need some more.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Scotty Brown, you're just an inspiration. Thanks so much. First of all, thanks for being on our board. You bring a lot to the table and we appreciate it. Thanks for all you do for the community. Thanks for instructing me that building a menu is like construction. So now it makes sense to me. And thanks for all you do.
Well, appreciate you as well.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of Meaningful Mondays. At the Community Foundation of Middlesex County, we know that philanthropy matters and philanthropy works. Together, we support the arts, education, human services, animal welfare, the environment, heritage enhancements, and so much more by providing services, programs, and grants to our local nonprofits. We invite you to learn more and share your passion with us. Visit us at middlesexcountycf.org or contact us at 860-347-0025. Together, we can make great things happen.